Miyazaki was interviewed by The Guardian, and he was talking about Elden Ring. And he said, quote, "It's a turning point for FromSoftware," and said where, quote, "where FromSoftware is right now in terms of scale, I would say Elden Ring is really the limit. We've tapped every resource and talent that we have access to. Scaling it even bigger, I'd have my concerns." He says that essentially they will most likely go to make multiple, quote, "smaller games" as the, quote, "next stage."
Can someone clip that what Rami just did? I want to make it a GIF. I'd use it all the time.
I missed it because I was reading a full screen report. What did he? Was that good or bad?
Just put up his glasses, rubbed his eyes, and then just put his shirt like this. It was so good.
So here's the thing, right? In 2010, there was this famous moment in games, or 2011, where an independent developer by the name of Phil Fish said that Japanese games were not in a good spot.
Right. Okay.
And I'll be honest, he said it undiplomatically because he wasn't good at being in the spotlight, but he wasn't wrong. Right? Now it's utterly inverted. Right? The way Japan runs its game studios is superior to what we're doing in many ways. Because he is correct. The fucker's correct.
Yeah.
Why would you go bigger than Elden Ring? What the fuck would be like? Why would you try and do that twice? Do one. It'll sell well. Everybody will love you. Do something smaller, a little less risk, a little more careful. Build up some stamina to take a big risk again, maybe 2 or 3 games later. That's how you run a video game studio.
And you know what happens when you do that? You don't have to fire a bunch of people.
And so you keep the talent, and because you keep the talent, you can make a game like Elden Ring in half the time that you would need if you want to train everybody. Because you know how hard it is to get a team to work in the same direction and to understand each other? Have you ever tried to get an artist and a programmer to talk to each other? It is funny. It is hard. It's a mess. Just getting them to agree on shit is a fucking mess. So if every time half your team that way and half your team that way goes, all the new people come in, every studio does this differently. There's no hard rule. We don't even agree what a producer is.
Dude, it's even worse than that too, because a lot of the times people go, "Oh, they fired all those positions." They'll, you go hire them back again, and you can have people, even in upper management, they'll be like, "Oh, we need to get 10 more artists." No, dude, you need the original 10 that you already had because they understood the entire IP, they understood the entire style. Now you have to train those people up on the style again, and it's not going to meet the same speed. It's not going to meet the same quality standards. Like, all of this is going to be different. And the same thing goes for programmers. The same thing goes for anybody doing, audio. Any of this is the same. So when you have these types of fluxes with this, dude, like it's a mess. I would much rather, after a major success, go and make something small, something safe, keep the same kick-ass team that we have because we already gel together, we already know how to do this, and make something really cool and really agile, and then just keep doing that until you make something big again. And now it's like, hey guys, we've done it. We're stable still. We have enough runway to do the big thing. You in? And then we do it,
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. It's funny how much that didn't I didn't realize that was the way to do it until I heard Sven talk from, or Sven, sorry, from Larian talk about the idea of training and how all these people that they've been working with for such a long time were the only way that Baldur's Gate 3 was ever going to get made because they knew how to work with one another. And the idea of just letting people go and then hiring more people when you staff up for another big project is the worst thing to do. It makes so much more sense when you hear that.
It's the tool set, it's the way people talk, it's the way they communicate, it's the way they understand each other. If I work with the teams that I've worked with and I go to my musician and say, hey, I need a little bit more a little bit more vibe, he knows what I mean. So we don't have to talk about that. We don't have to go and sit down and do 7 iterations of the thing before we get there. I just go to it, I listen to it, I'm like, it needs a little bit more of the vibe. And he's like, we had a brief where we talked about the game before, and he's like, you know what, I got you. He goes back, he does the thing, he comes back. I can do the proper way. I can sit down with him and point at the things I don't like. I can
you can have 10 meetings about it and spend a week on it.
It's just wasted time.
Yeah.
Or I can just keep working with the people I know who already know how I want the music delivered. They already know how it's going to get implemented. They already know how I work with my engine. They already know,
Yeah.
Right? So
you don't need a date, you just jump into bed.
Like, dude, it's Jesus. It's the same
Robbie,
when I'm
just say
working
yes.
with my
Analogy.
musician. God damn, dude. It's the same when I'm working with my musician Stein. It's like
Remember
Stein
our first date?
will drop some like sick music on me, and I'll get it, and Stein's like, "How you feeling about it?" I was like, "Feels slimy, man." And like no one else is gonna know what the hell that means. Like, and Stein's like, "I got you." You know?
Yeah, he goes and adjusts the slimy meter.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
No one else knows what the hell that means, but Stein and I get it because we've been working together for like 7 years, dude. Like, so like, nah, like that's how that, and you want that because it saves a shitload of time and a shitload of money. And to be real with you, I think it's one of the things a lot of people forget. Studio names don't make video games. The people inside of those teams do. And if you fire those people, you're not getting them back, and that game's never going to be the same. Never ever.
Yeah. I read that was 2 days ago, I guess, when the article came out. I'm not sure when the original interview was published with Miyazaki, but it was like one of those fist pump moments for me because it was like, fucking, let's go. Like he's not. This sucks for like Bandai Namco to hear. Obviously, the shareholders at Bandai Namco are like, fuck, we're not gonna get another Elden Ring for another 10 years. But if FromSoftware, they're like, that's the best thing that they could do. Is just
but they
go and make
will get
something
another
small.
Elden Ring.
They will
Like,
eventually,
not
yes.
soon, but they will.
Yeah,